I'm going to show you how to add a due date to the Oh Baby sonogram project in Silhouette Studio. We're in Silhouette Studio Designer in this tutorial. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is load the project, which we've already done here, and then I want to open the layers panel. Now, the layers panel is this little icon in the right-hand side here. If you don't see it there, there's like this little button down in the right corner that says show more, and it should show up at that point. So when you click on that, it'll give you this box here, which shows you all the layers in the file. As you can see, the top layer is the alphabet. So we're going to use that to grab some letters and numbers to make our due date on the file. And then we're going to delete that layer because we don't want to cut all of these little layers out. The next layer is actually, I'm just going to grab it here with the tool. So this is the O layer without, as you can see, there are two layers here, two top layers. One says you are so loved and one is blank. So if you want to add a due date to this project, you would not use this top layer, the you are so loved layer. We don't need that. So I'm actually going to, and up here I have it says layer 5 so loved. Okay, so I'm just gonna hide that because we don't need it right now. And I might actually delete it so that we don't worry about cutting it. Okay, so now when we're adding the due date, we want to add it onto this white layer here. And in order to do that, I'm going to make the alphabet visible again. I'm going to hide this layer for a minute. We'll bring that back. And I'll show you how to move these letters over and cut them out. So you can see that I'm able to select each individual letter or number here. So what I'm going to do is select the D, and I'm going to copy it. I'm not going to move it over, I'm going to copy it. So you can do right click copy, or on a Mac, which is what I use, I do Command C, and then I'm going to go over here and just do Command V, or right click paste. Okay, but you can see it pasted it right over here, and now it's white. I don't know why it made it white, but that's okay, no big deal. We'll change the color though so we can see it over the white layer. So if you want to change the color, you would go up to this little icon, fill style, and I'm just going to pick a random color because it does not matter right now. Okay, I just want to be able to see it over this white layer. So I've got my D. I'm going to go through that same process for all the letters or numbers that I need. So select the letter I want, copy, okay, copy, paste. All right. And now it changed that one white. I don't know why, but anyway, I can read it. It doesn't matter what color it is, okay? As long as you can see it. So copy, paste, okay? It pasted it over here. We'll just drag it over. And it also doesn't matter. They don't need to be in perfect alignment yet. I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. So let's do 5. So I copied and pasted that. I'm going to do a period. Okay. Copied and pasted that. Let's say this baby is due on the 1st of May. So copy and paste. And then I'll do another period. Okay. Copy paste my 2, and it is right now 2025, so let's do that. Okay. So now I've got my basic, the letters that I want to use here, and so now we have to align them the way that we like, and group them together into a single cut, and then make it so they cut out of this white layer. So the first step is I'm gonna just click and drag, actually I'm not gonna do that, scratch that. I'm gonna click and hold down Shift and click these 3 letters because I want this word to be aligned just with itself right now, okay? So when I have all 3 of those letters in the word that I'm trying to align properly, when I have those selected together, I will go over to the transform panel, okay? And it has a lot of different options here for aligning things. With letters, I like to align on the bottom. So under vertical, you'll see this little icon. I do that, and it just shifts the letters down a little bit. And then I like to click this one that's space horizontal. It distributes them evenly, okay? So it's sort of, it moved that U into the center there, and that looks a lot better. And so then I'm gonna do the same thing here. Okay, I'm selecting, holding down Shift, selecting each of those things. I'm gonna align it to the bottom, especially since there's a period. I'm just gonna show you what it looks like if I align center. It moves everything to be aligned along this center line, which for our periods we don't want. So I have those aligned in the center. Now, I will say, if you're using, you know, a letter that has, you know, a flourish at the bottom, for instance, you wouldn't want to align that to the bottom because I'll show you what happens. You know, that just looks weird. So in that case, you might just want to play around with it and move it manually, how you like it if you're going to use that, but we're not using that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and select those again, and I'm going to do the same thing where I distribute them evenly, but it might look a little bit weird because I think I want to I'm using the arrow key now because I want to keep the alignment along the bottom. So I'm just going to use the arrow key to push it a little bit more to the right. And I'm going to push this one a little bit more to the left, just to get it to look spaced more nicely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select those again. Again, I'm holding down Shift. So now I have the date that says due, and I can go ahead and select all of them. And if I'm wanting to align them all to the bottom and make sure they're all aligned together, I can do that again. Now we need to make this one single cut. Now that we have all of these letters and numbers selected as one layer, I want to group them together really quick, and I'll tell you why in a second. So you can right click, oops. All right, let's do this again. You can right click and select group. I don't know why it's turning it white. I'm gonna change that again for you so we can see it, okay? Or you can just do, like on a Mac, I have Command G would group them together. Okay, so now we have this group together. So when I click out and click back in on one of these, it selects this whole text box, okay? Now we want to center it on this white layer so that it's right in the middle. Now you could eyeball it, you know, and you could just kind of decide where you like it, or you could do what we did before with the transform panel over here. So we'll select our grouped layer, and then we'll hold down Shift and select the white layer beneath it, and go over to the horizontal panel here and click this center. And that just centers it in the middle, so you know it's perfectly centered. Now, with both of those still selected, you can see you have your group selected and layer 4, okay? We are going to go to the modify panel, which is right here. And we're gonna click subtract, okay? So now What that did is it cut those letters and numbers out of layer 4. So now you can see when I move layer 4 around, those letters and numbers are cut out of it exactly like we want, okay? So the next step, I'm going to close these windows because we don't need them anymore. I'll keep the layers window. We want that top layer. Remember, we hid that top layer just so we could see what we were doing. We want that back now, okay? Just so that we can see what's happening here. And then this alphabet layer, this whole layer we don't need anymore because we've already used the letters and numbers, and we don't want this to cut out on our machine. So we're gonna go ahead and click this subtract button to delete that layer. So now we should have 5 layers here, okay? Our top layer with the O script text, the layer beneath it, which is what we edited, the layer beneath that, and then 2 more layers, the bottom and this one, okay? So now, if you want to, click and drag so that you select all the layers together and go back to the transform panel, and you can click the horizontal center and the vertical center, and it just aligns everything back to how to center everything. And you can see kind of how it looks. So the next step, we'll close that out, is cutting it out, okay? So you can see my page setup is a little bit weird with this red box, which is like the cut area. I'm gonna go ahead and make that bigger because we don't want that. So under page setup, you can click under media size, whatever size paper you have. So I have a 12 by 12, so we'll do that. Okay, and then you're all set to go. All you do is go ahead and click send. And I don't have a machine set up and connected at the moment, but when you click send, this will automatically cut each layer on a different sheet of paper. So you don't have to worry about that. It'll just automatically set it up so that you reload the paper after every cut. So that's it. That's how you add a due date to the Oh Baby ultrasound design.